Hi, I'm Terry from TalkSober.com. Welcome to day one of your alcohol recovery. Over the next few weeks, we're going to help you get and stay sober. We're going to help you learn and understand what an alcoholic is, how an alcoholic thinks, and what to do to stay sober. This program did not come at a cheap price. We here at TalkSober.com have personally experienced the insanity that alcohol addiction can cause. We've come close to the gates of death from our dependency on alcohol. I want to tell you, I understand how you feel. I understand how hard it is to accept that something so simple, so pleasurable at one time, and so innocently used by other people can knock us down to our very core and cause us to wonder, what's wrong with me? Why can't I stop drinking? I remember people used to tell me, why don't you just quit? Well, in my experience, it was just not that easy. Most of us hit rock bottom before we decide to finally do what we need to do to successfully quit. Well, no matter where you are on that alcoholic scale, you can quit. For the next few weeks, follow this program. Each day has specific things to do. It's important to do what is suggested. In our experience, if you do these things, you have a great chance of staying sober. Use all the tools on our website, read the letters, watch the videos, do the exercises, participate in the forum. Get help from other sources as well. It all helps. You need to do everything possible for your sobriety. Let's go ahead and dive into day one. So, what's the deal with alcoholism? First, understand this. Alcoholism can happen to anyone. No matter your intelligence, your social stature, your economic status, your education, including your alcohol abuse education, your past, your potential, your family history, etc., etc. Alcoholism doesn't discriminate. Alcoholism is a progressive disease. In my experience and what I've seen is that an alcoholic's use gets worse over time. It will never get better. Sure, you might be able to cut back or even quit for a time, but if you're an alcoholic, and you are not in active sobriety, your alcoholism will get worse. It may take weeks, months, years, even decades, but that's what happens. I've seen this and experienced this firsthand many times. So how do you know if you're an alcoholic? Well, there's different definitions as to what an alcoholic is. One is it's a physical and psychological addiction to alcohol and the harmful, compulsive behaviors associated with it. Another is a condition in which a person has a desire or physical need to consume alcohol, even though it has a negative impact on their life. It can be difficult to tell if you are an alcoholic, especially since alcohol affects your brain and your ability to reason effectively. However, alcoholics do tend to have some common characteristics. For instance, alcoholics can manipulate almost any situation to get the alcohol they want. An alcoholic will tend to obsess about alcohol or when they get their next drink. I used to plan my life around alcohol and drinking activities. Alcoholics often live a double life. The outward life of everything being together and successful, and the inner life where things are slowly caving in and things are just not good. Often an alcoholic will justify their drinking by taking care of some of the simpler things in life really well, like taking care of the house or their family duties or doing their job well so they deserve a good stiff drink at the end of the day or during the day or all day and night. Often, alcoholics will seek professional therapy, but a lot of times they just end up lying to the therapist and saying, that therapy didn't work at all. Now, alcoholics usually know deep down that something is wrong. A lot of times, they know it's alcohol, but many times they think it's everything but alcohol. Many times an alcoholic will research for the answers like on the internet. They might look up things like, am I an alcoholic? Or how much can I drink and not be an alcoholic? Or how much does an alcoholic drink? Now, if you're doing this, you might want to consider that non-alcoholics, they don't search the internet for that answer. So what usually happens is because of the progressive nature of alcoholism, things eventually come crashing down. Now, sometimes it's all at once, sometimes it takes a long time. An alcoholic often starts to obsess about their problems, but they can't figure out how to solve them. Or more accurately, they try to solve them by doing the wrong things or doing nothing at all except trying to drink the problem away. Drinking more alcohol takes away these feelings and obsessions, so drinking seems to be the answer. Alcohol gets rid of the obsession temporarily, but those feelings and the obsessions just get put off until later. Thus, the circle of alcoholism goes. Sometimes people become desperate to get out of this obsessive alcohol loop, but they just don't know how. Sometimes suicidal thoughts start to happen because there just may not seem to be any other way out. Now, if you're experiencing any of these feelings, you gotta get help now. Alcoholism is not your fault. It's an illness of the mind and the body. The mind obsesses and craves the alcohol, but the body is allergic to us. Most of us can come up with some reasons why we became alcoholics, but in reality, no one really knows. Maybe you're trying to quit for the first time, or maybe you've tried once before, or you've tried many, many times. It doesn't matter where you are in that respect. What matters now is that you're trying now to get and stay sober. If you want to quit drinking for good, it's important to consistently work on sobriety. We can easily get back into our old active alcoholic habits, and consistently working on sobriety can help us stay away from that first drink. Getting and staying sober is as simple as not drinking. However, we need to consistently work on sobriety to keep a sober mindset all the time. The key is to be willing, honest, especially to yourself, open-minded, and not just be willing to do the work, but actually doing the work necessary to stay sober. So now it's time to get to work. Read Sober Mindset. Then go to our forum, introduce yourself, see what people are talking about, see if you relate to what they're saying. Feel free to participate in the conversations. After that, do the exercise for day 1. Most importantly, don't drink today and worry about tomorrow when you get there. Take care of yourself today. Try to get enough sleep. Don't get hungry. Don't get into stressful situations. And don't isolate. These first days can be difficult. You really need to put sobriety and taking care of yourself as a top priority. Until tomorrow, you take care of yourself.